Okay, this is going to be a little addendum on Isaiah 45 because we need to circle on it. It's lack of proper attention to Isaiah 45, which could probably account for the fact that Christians and pastors are so ignorant of the fact that Genesis 1 is talking about the restoration of the earth. Now, I'm going to ask you to look at it on your own. I'm just passing on what I learned. Skepticism is important, but what's more important is that the whole goal of the spiritual life is for God's head to get in your head. And that doesn't happen if you just swallow or spit out what somebody says. You have to turn it over in your head. You use 1 John 1:9 and you keep on asking God, okay, what should be in my head now? What am I supposed to understand? What is it that I'm not learning, or what should I learn better? You're constantly in a dialogue with God. And that's why you need 1 John 1:9 all the time. I use it like breathing because I have a really bad temper. Everybody has his own soul weakness, and that one happens to be mine. I can't stand willful stupidity, and I can't stand it when things don't work. And there's no excuse for my being so intolerant. So I use 1 John 1:9 all the time. Okay. So this verse we're looking at on the screen is Isaiah 45:7. We already spent some time on it. The big phrase here that's mistranslated is right here. In the NASB, it's causing well-being and creating calamity. In the NIV, it's create prosperity and bring disaster. In the KJV, I make peace and create evil. Of these three translations, KJV is closest, but they're all off. Now, the last time we went through Isaiah 45 here in episode 4, I pronounced this as Ra'ah. That's a resh and an ayin, and really the right pronunciation is Reh. It sounds like evil, doesn't it? Reh. 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 Sounds like banging. Okay, Reh. Eh. That tells you an awful lot about the original pronunciation of ayin, because if you go to seminary today, they'll tell you, oh, it's silent. It's just the same. They know that the students aren't really interested, so they simplify it. Okay, but look at how the letter is shaped. Okay, hold on. Highlighted here, well, it's not highlighting very well, are two of the ayins. Ayin is the name of the letter. Would you look at it closely? It looks just like a mouth where you're sticking your tongue out. I have to move the cursor. They look like two Y's, backwards Y's, to the English speaker. But think about the picture you're getting. It's like you're sticking your tongue out. Because, Hebrew's right to left, so it's pointing left. That's pretty much how ayin originally sounded. Except that, you could be I like to think of it with an A where you're smiling. That's probably closest. So this word is pronounced Reh. Reh, Now, it means the evil one, as we went through before. So it doesn't mean just evil. My pastor stressed that when he exegeted the verse. So I want you to focus on that. Alright, now, here in the Greek, here we got kataskeussas, which, if you remember, was used in Genesis 1:2. Let's prove that. Alright, Genesis. Whoops, it won't go far enough. Genesis 1:2. See? Akadaskeus. I can't do this right. Akadaskeulastas. Alright, now look at that compared to Isaiah 45 above, also highlighted in blue. Kataskeulasas. The accent changes. Now this A here is an alpha privative, which means that it's negative. It reverses whatever follows it. Alright? So God is very definitely saying, and they picked up on that in the LXX. He's referring back to Genesis 1:2. And they pick up on that in the LXX. Alright? Because it's saying, let me move this out of the way here. And here's our definite article. They call it the article now. Alright, look it down at the bottom. Kadeskeoadzo. Okay, I made it ready. I did everything needed. That's really how you ought to translate it. I did everything needed to make light. And this is where he gets sarcastic. Look at the bottom, because that's telling you the morphology. And I am the one, and the one. He's talking about himself impersonally. And the one making. Remember poieo? Poieo is also in Genesis 1:2. Could you ask for more references to a particular verse? Alright? Epiphero, actually, there. Oh no, that was in Genesis 1:1. I'm sorry. He's referring to Genesis 1:1. Hold on. See? There's poieo again. You can just barely see it. Let me move the window. See, there's poieo again in Genesis 1:2 compared to Isaiah. So he's contrasting 1:1 and 1:2. This is where he begins the contrast in 45:7. Up at the top window, Isaiah 45:7. And so in order to let you know he's doing that, he uses keywords from the verses in question. That's how you study scriptures, by the keywords. When he uses a particular word in a verse, you look back at the other verses where he used it, and you look forward to the other verses where he will use it. Okay, I'm running short of time. I have to do this in 10-minute increments, or this thing's going to crash. Okay, so now we go back to Genesis 1:2. Here's our friendly verb in Genesis 1:2, skotos. And here we got skotos again in 45:7. So now the doctrinal pointer is making a contrast between 1:1 and 1:2 again. Because here you've got kadeskelasas. Alright, let me move this out of the way so you can remember what it is. That comes from kadeskewadzo. See in the lower left-hand screen? Okay, phos is the word for light. Chi, even. It's emphatic here. The emphatic use of chi would be translated even. In fact, no, even is better. Even the one who makes. Translated even. In fact, no, even is better. Even the one who makes. Now, why is he calling himself the one who makes darkness? Because you're going to see him deny it in verse 18 of this chapter. Because here in the Hebrew, it's the evil one. And they're translating that. I can't highlight both of them at the same time. They're translating ra, uskotas. Alright? Because evil is dark. But this is the evil one. And there's no exact way to translate all that. And you could argue that this was a euphemism then. I mean, think about it, think it over. I'm just showing you this stuff. Okay, and then here's poieo again. Oops, I gotta move the window so you can see it. Okay, there's poieo again. Again, he's pointing back to Genesis 1 and 2. There's our friendly irene, which is shalom. Sorry. Oh, I hate this program. And then I mean, the rest of it's straightforward, but you'll notice this is katizon. Katizon means to create. Alright, so these are all, okay, kaka, not Kaka is used, the evil one. That's used as a substantive in the Greek. That's used for Ra. Ra. You should have been reading better. Okay? And then this is the translation for ani. Ego is the Greek for ani. That's ani in the Hebrew. This is ego in the English. Kurios is the translation for Yehweh. Kurios, actually, is how you pronounce it. Okay, Kurios Hotheos, he's using his fuller name here in the Greek. Okay. And then we have poieo again as a participle. Okay, the one making everything. Tapanta, tautapanta, because it's a plural. And the accusative. Alright, so do you get the idea that he's keying on the keywords in Genesis 1:1 and 2? Because I got to hurry up and move along now. Okay, now we want to move down to verse 18. This is where it gets really important. See, even in translation, let me minimize that. Okay, even in translation, he established it and did not create it a waste place. Okay, what do we have in Genesis 1:2? We have tohu wabohu, remember? Here's tohu wabohu. Alright? And that's translated with this. Here, wait a minute. That's how they're translating it in the Greek for tohu wabohu. So obviously you're going to want to do a search in the LXX on this also to find maybe more verses. But look at the contrast here. See up above, he established it, in highlighted in blue, he established it and did not create created a waste place. So Genesis 1:2 is what he did not do. Genesis 1:2 begins how he fixes it. And he's using the same keywords, alright, here in Isaiah 45:18 to stress that fact. Alright, Greek parts, conjunction Allah is a conjunction of strong contrast. Alright? Uk, denial of fact. Ais kenon, uk ais kenon. Not empty. Kenon is usually used for tohu or wabohu. Right? I didn't make it a waste. Kenon doesn't. Kenos. Yeah, let me show you. Kenos doesn't just mean empty. It means wasted. Alright? Useless. We saw that before when I did the search on tohu wabohu. How kenos is often used to translate tohu or bohu. Alright? Uk means not. Definitely not. Ice is a preposition of destination or result, often translated because, and it's often chained. But I'm getting astray here. I just want you to see, uk, ice, kenon, not wasteland. Did I make right here at Poisen? Did he make? All right. This is kind of an anacoluthon right here. That means it's an inserted phrase that stands on its own. Sometimes regarded as bad Greek. Okay. So, God is using the words, we saw this before. Okay, this is Amar, God speaks. This is Yahweh, God speaking. Okay? Look at this. Bara, from nothing. Hashemayim, the heavens. I'm the one who created the heavens, or he is. This is the third person singular, he. Okay? Why don't you? Chalochim, ha'el glochim, ha'glochim. Okay? Yatzer, that's another creation verb for sculpt. We're going to see that in Genesis 2:7. Ha'eretz, the world. The earth. Okay? Wa'asa, here's our third creation verb. All of those are used in Genesis. He is going back to Genesis. Asa is used in Genesis 2:7. We'll also see it coming up later in Genesis 1. Where is it? Bara, we saw in Genesis 1:1. Hashemayim, we saw in Genesis 1:1. When who is used, it's stressed. It's kind of like the rule in French. You don't have to put in the pronoun, but when you do put it in, it's stressing it. Chalochim, even more stress. Yatser, shape, sculpt. That's going to be in Genesis 2:7. Haaretz. Okay? Wasa, who, he. Wasa, he's the one who made. Established, kun, very important verb. This is one of the verbs that's used to predict when Christ will be born on Hanukkah in the priestly courses. Lo, there you go. Tahu. Okay, there we go. Lo tohu. Okay? Not tohu. Not. Okay, what do we see? Genesis 1:2. Tohu. And what do we see here? Look at the top screen. That's the L. Aleph is with the dot. You don't see the dot there. Lo tohu. Tohu versus lo tohu. That means I didn't do Genesis 1:2. I fixed it. Alright? I don't know if God could make it any clearer than this. And it's because we don't pay attention to the original language that we don't know that Genesis 1:2 is the restoration of the earth.